Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War Invasions, week 15, day 6. So, today, I do want to try getting Frostmage to level 90, as still trying to get that to 100, so that we can finally get it maxed before next Guild Wars in 2 weeks from now, 2 weeks and 2 days. So definitely want to get that done before then. Other than that, mainly just going to be doing delves, and actually we can do a little bit of both of those simultaneously. We already ended up finishing out invasions yesterday, ended up getting a useless orange orb from that. If you guys still have any questions about that, just let me know. Actually, while we're in this screen, I meant to go show invasions, but since we're here, let me go do dungeons real quick before I forget, and go clear that out. But yeah, sorry about no stream earlier this morning. I did have some other things that I needed to take care of today, mostly just with taxes and stuff. But most of that's already done now, so yay! Let's see, I'll move that over. Also, I made a lot less this year than I thought I did. Like, scary less. Like, under 10,000 less between YouTube and everything else that I do. Which is not a lot. Actually, just ad revenue. Of course, I make money from plenty of things other than just the ad revenue. But, like donations and other things I do. But just the ad revenue for this channel was only about 3,500 actually. A little bit less than that, like ever so slightly less. The problem is the estimate is way different than whatever actually comes out sometimes. Like, it could give you an estimate of, like, whatever, several hundred, and it's like, nope, it's a different amount every single month, feels like. Yeah, hello everyone. Hello, DeCrio. Hello, Kevin. Hello, CJ. Hello, Steve. Hello, Parmella. Hello, Zakid. Hello, Bladesong. Hello, Wyatt. Hello, Humberto. And that's everyone. And hello, everyone else. Welcome. Let's throw a key there, get it killed. And we're good to go. Okay. All we need now is to get that rolling. Hello, Famous. Welcome. Right into double key. And I'll take it off. Kill. Right into the... Actually, we'll just swipe around. Might be quick. Oh, no! It didn't surge. Oh, well. We'll get that again. Get a hit. Hello, Mr. Jesse! Welcome. Okay, there we go. So, next order of business. Let's go do a bunch of delves. So, well, we do still keep doing these. Need a bunch of shards for... next Friday. Next Friday, we are going to be getting a new, not only a new mythic, but also a brand new faction. And that faction should be bringing in bleed mechanics. And bleed mechanics will be fun, because we finally get to actually use bleed mechanics. They technically exist right now, but they're essentially unusable, because nothing really places them decent enough. But starting next Friday, we'll have a legendary, which will be essentially the best thing in the game for placing bleed. I don't know how long it's going to last is the best thing to place bleed. I feel like they could add better options in the future. But at the time of its release, it's going to be the best and nearly only option to bleed with. There will technically be a few others, but it's going to be the only viable one. The legend from next faction. Oh, I need to make sure he moves his team before I let him end here. You saved up 9k in shards. Very nice. Yeah, I haven't had as much time to save because I misclicked. I haven't had as much time to save because I've been trying to get all of my ones that I haven't gotten to Mythic yet to Mythic. Oh, the whole point of letting him live was to let him cast. I let him get mana, but I didn't let him cast. Fail. It's not that big a deal. We just have to deal with greed in first slot. It actually makes it harder for us to die, but it makes it slower for us to win. Okay. I'll get the double key there. Get all destroyed. Get all that down. Key and dead. What's your highest horde level? Max 2,500. Oh, do you mean the horde? Oh, sorry, horde. 200's my highest horde, and it's actually on this faction right here. I might even be getting a little bit further than that. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, we currently have it at level 200 at this current moment in time. I'm not sure if I'm going to get it further than that. I kind of feel like I should, with how much I'm camping this. I guess it really depends what they do next patch on if I will or will not. I'm not sure. But, yeah, I believe we might be maxing it to, like, 300 or something. If we're going to be camping this delve forever, or, yeah, essentially forever, I don't think they're going to be adding a better delve anytime soon. we might as well keep going higher in stats just so we save more time each day when we camp this area. How much gold did that take? It took about 3 million, but we used only the best 3 treasures. Actually, it might have been, it's about 3 to 4 million it ended up costing us, using only the 3 best treasures. It would have cost a lot more if we used smaller ones, of course. Hello, Overfiend! Welcome! I got key should almost... Oh no! Our extra turn! Oh well. I might need to use that greed so we don't die, so I'm gonna do that just in case. Never know. Could get hit by like 3 skulls out of nowhere. Right, what's our order from here? We got a 1.2. We got a 1.2, but it's a treasure room. 1.15, 1.25. I think it's technically better to go this way. Actually, excuse me. It's the same value as taking a 1.2. So I guess we'll take the 1.2 first. Then we'll take the other 2 rooms, and then we'll go into it. Does upgrading the treasures do anything for delves? No. Upgrading your treasure does absolutely nothing. It is basically 100% pointless. The only point in upgrading treasure is nothing. It does nothing. Literally nothing. It's not associated with a kingdom. It doesn't help with upgrading anything. And it's essentially just there to sink resources for no reason. The only thing that you can technically use it for is don't ever level or trade them. And if you have everything in the entire game level and traded, you can start level and trading them for those daily tasks. Whenever you get a daily task that specifically tells you to do something, you'll be able to use that in order to do it. Yeah, basically just dailies is the only thing you ever bother using them for. And that's it. And that is completely it. Well, you don't have to specifically camp this one. You can camp any of them. The only reason why this one is slightly more desirable than any other location is it has 1 guaranteed treasure room and 2 rooms that could potentially be treasure rooms. I'm not sure if they're ever going to have one better than that, but there's a possibility they might just make one better than that in the future. Anything tied with it would also be really good, even if it's not necessarily better. Because there's definitely layouts that could be better than this delve. It's not the worst, but it's also not the greatest layout. And he blocks off our gold again. That's the whole reason why you don't normally want greed in first slot. Blocks gold every single turn. Hopefully we get green surge or yellow surge, and they're available, so let's take that. There are green. Oh, I could actually turn that off the yellow and still got into green. Whoops. Wasted a turn. Hopefully it actually turns. And that cascade. We'll take that. Why not? A little bit of damage. I'm actually going to take that skull because I believe that's kill range. And dead off of that key. Yeah, we're getting a new delve on the 1st. Same as new faction. They're both next Friday. So 6 more days from now, we'll have it. So yeah, it's really good to keep a delve at around level 90 or so, or campy. You can technically keep it at level 22. Or, you know, at level 20. The only reason why you might not want to keep it specifically at 20, though, is you can't do any of the events. Or at least you can, but it's going to cost way too many resources. So all those Tuesday events that use that specific delve you wouldn't be able to do, as well as the initial event when it comes out. If you do it up to about 90 or so, you would be able to do it. The only reason mine's at 110 instead of 90 is just because we needed a little bit higher in order to gain the +1 HP. Otherwise, I would have kept it lower. Also, in this most recent Tuesday event that was for this faction, we actually did get it up to 110 as well, because we ended up getting some weird Valraven luck. So we did end up getting that extra 2 battles. So to a degree, it's actually good that we did it to 110. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to get those extra resources the other day, a couple days ago. Alright, we'll go to the grounds, grab our key there. Let's see, I'll take a skull over. Do we take another skull? Yeah, why not? Take a blue down. Wait so everything moves. Why is everything so bad on this board? I'll just let him take the blue there. It's fine. Oh, he went for the red instead. That's fine. Try for the skull. He doesn't take it. Take that instead. Get an extra turn off it. That's not useful at all. Because there's nothing on this board. It can't be the only move. It is. Okay, we'll take purple. You keep getting awful moves. Really? You keep getting stuck with one useless move. You know what? I'm gonna pass my turn. There we go. That's what you get. And always good to have an ability that just skips your turn. It's one of the only few instances where a ability that ends your turn is actually good. Something that ends your turn with no board control. Normally those kind of abilities are useless, but they can technically be used to skip your turn, which isn't normally possible by any other means. Very rarely is that actually useful, but generally when there's only one move left on the board, or when the next move is going to shuffle the board, is when you generally go and skip your turn, if you have something that can do that. So instead of you having to take it, you force the AI to have to take it. Okay, luckily that death mark hasn't killed us yet. In a way, it will almost help us if it does. Okay, got refreshed. We're not frozen on ground, so grab that. Got a key, and that is enough damage, so we'll go for it. Take a red to blue. Somehow did not surge. Okay, he cleansed, perfect. And he has nothing else but death mark. Just clear out the board a couple times. Use greed if we need heal. I don't think we're going to need it though. And we'll skip mana one more time, and that'll be enough to kill it off the key. Hello, Kraken! Hello, Joe T! Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for the new faction. We didn't really have much this weekend, unfortunately. But, wow, do we have a lot next weekend. We're mostly just going to be messing around with Bleed, though, I feel like. That and, of course, the new faction. But, mostly Bleed. Also, I don't know if I'm doing leaderboard for next faction. I might go all the way to 500 immediately. I'm not sure yet. I've never actually done that for a single faction yet. The only reason why I haven't is I believe it costs, like, 2,000 gold or something. I mean, 2,000 gold, I wish. 2,000 diamonds, I mean. Not just that, but it would cost about 2,000 diamonds, and we probably wouldn't even make top 3 leaderboard. Because only the people that specifically camp the lower levels are going to make leaderboard, most likely. But we're just going to go straight through the entire time until we hit 500. And even post 500, it is actually possible to get over 500. I don't currently have it for a single delve, because the only way to do it is to spend an absurd amount of gems during a weekend-long event when it first comes out. You can also do it on the Tuesday event, but then you have to do it all in one day, which can only get you so far. I don't know what the world record is for that yet on any player. I think it stops at 1,000, but most people haven't gone further than like 600 or so. And I'm not talking about the level, I'm talking about the actual floor. Normally it's stuck at level 500. Like if we try going to one of these other ones, anyone that I click on is going to be saying 500, because that's as far as you can possibly go. But during the actual events, like these Tuesday one and the Friday ones, they have no limit. Or if they do have a limit, it's 1,000, which realistically no one will ever reach. Yeah, I don't know what the highest is that anyone has ever bothered doing. Probably around 600 or so, maybe 700. Gnome event would have been perfect for this weekend. We just had one a couple weeks ago. I believe they're planning some kind of new event this year that will be filling in this gap, because we keep having like a weekend every month where we basically have nothing. But I believe they are planning some kind of new piece of content for that. It's probably not coming till like summer this year, but they will eventually be filling that gap. It's only a matter of time. Hello, Icarus. Welcome. Yeah, we're almost level 89 on Frostmage. Might even do some Explore, just to get the last little bit up. We already did everything we need in PvP. We already did all the maps. Everything, basically everything we need done. Should I wait? Yes. Oh, no, don't kill him! That was a fail. I came so close to killing. Let's do that. Come on, swap. Do I have anything to pass my turn? That won't kill him, right? Pull the last enemy to the front. Yes, it will kill him. Oh no, but it moves him too, right? I forget. Luckily, this yellow is safe. There we go. And then we go. There we go. Hello, Medieval! Welcome! Oh yeah, we go this way because we have the two 1.3s. Then we'll probably cut over. Let's see, that's a treasure room and that's a useless room. Okay, maybe we don't cut over. We'll just take the 1.2 then. So we'll go all the way to the 1.3, all the way at the end, then just take the other path. Loop back around, and then take basically 3, 3, and then the middle. If anyone has any questions or anything you want me to go over, let me know. And I'll make sure to do it all. 2 HP. Dreaded, barely any survival on him. But easy way to do that is just get a egg thief on it, and it will go down. Do I have a drop? No, I do not. I don't think I do. No. So we'll just take that for now. No way to drop for an extra turn, so let's kill that for that. PM, and that should be enough. Hello, Jose, welcome. When you click on the map for delves, can you take you through what it is you are looking for? You understand the route, but what determines the route? Basically, multiplier order, and then resource order. Specifically in the daily ones, you're mainly just looking for resource order. So you try taking multipliers first and then just saving treasure rooms for last, basically. So what we're looking for in this particular delve at this beginning is to see which path of these first 2 rooms is better by basically averaging these 2 multipliers and seeing which one comes out to be higher. And in the case of this delve, it comes out to the 1.15 into the 1.3, averaging to a higher amount, which is... I don't know, what does it actually average to? You know what? The top might actually average higher. No, it doesn't. Wait. Oh no, this one averages higher because the other 1.13, I forgot. Because the follow-up on this path is only a 1.15 because we wouldn't want to take the 1.25. So this path would initially be higher. We want to save this one for last just because it's a lot of gold, even though it's higher multiplier. And then we just take the top path. Reason we don't cut over this way to try to head to this other room is just because this one initially has a higher multiplier. But yeah, generally it's just multiplier order. It's just trying to figure what out that is in as quickly as possible is generally what I'm doing each time. And you don't have to do treasure rooms last. During actual events, like next Friday, when a new faction comes out, or as well as Tuesday faction events, you do it just purely in multiplier order, and you can just completely ignore treasure rooms. But when you're doing it for the daily ones, since you don't have a score that you're trying to accumulate, you just simply do it in whatever order maximizes treasure room loot. And the reason why you get those higher multipliers... Oh, no. Yeah, just gotta kill. But the main reason you go for those multipliers is just because it does apply to every single individual room. The final loot that you'll get in the final battle will always be the same regardless of the order that you do stuff in. But the loot that you get for each individual room on your way there is heavily dependent on how much multiplier you currently have. Hero class, we're currently using Frostmage, and we're just using Frostmage because we're trying to level Frostmage. It's not the best thing to be using here. The best team, or the best hero class to use with this team is Thief. But we are currently using Frostmage because we're trying to get HP for it. And that's the whole reason why we're using that. There's no reason other than that. Just HP. Oh, I didn't do that. It's probably enough to kill regardless. But we'll throw that down. Definitely make sure we overkill it. Get our reds there. Clear out the entire board. And we're good to go. Throw another key down. Take our reds over. Grab our double kill. Get our destroy on everything. Yeah, we'll take the blue, why not? He'll resummon again. Take the skull down. Key it again, and dip. Hello, Ryan! Welcome. Every delve's pathing tends to follow a similar path every single time, but every delve order tends to be a little bit different as far as how you need to go about doing the rooms, or figuring out which rooms you need to do. One of the easiest to initially figure out is starting with something like, if you want to like practice doing it correctly, Hall of Guardians is a pretty good location to try practicing, because after you do the second room, you have the choice of doing literally any room, so it's a lot easier to understand and get used to doing things in the correct order. The only big issue with that is you have to check almost every single room in order to actually get proper order. because since you can instantly do every single room, it's a little bit annoying. But it's a good delve to try learning the correct order for everything. Is the amount of renown you win random? No. The amount of renown you win is based on 4 factors. How the furthest delve you've ever gone into, the furthest delve you've ever gone into that you went deathless, the furthest delve that you've gone into and won with the pure faction team, pure faction being any team that uses those 4 troops from a specific faction. You can use multiple of them, but you're not allowed to use anything else other than those 4, not even hero. And the treasure hoard is the 4th factor. Getting it up to level 100 ends up giving you max points for that. I'm just sure second skull first. Oh, there we go. He just gives it to us. Oh, that works. Yeah, renown's not random. It's just based on those 4 factors. Where you should be gaining absolutely 0 renown for everything that we're doing here, simply because nothing that we're doing is going any further or upgrading any of those factors that I mentioned. You keep only getting 20. That likely means you're moving forward, but you're losing a troop each time, and you're not using pure faction. So you only need to use pure faction at certain intervals. Normally people only do it at level 100, 150, 200, or 500. I think those are the biggest areas where people tend to throw out the pure faction team. But it's based on all these factors. Right over here. So we currently have 210 points because the furthest we've gone in this delve is to room 110. We have 110 points for not dying in it, because the furthest we've gone is room 110. The furthest we've gone for best delve using pure faction is also 110. And we have a horde of level 100, which gives us 500 points. Anything beyond that doesn't give any higher. This maxes out at 500, 500, 500. And this one maxes out when that's 500, but it gives you 1,000 points because it gives you twice as much as whatever that is that you can see. But yeah, it's determined every single time. Like, I would know exactly what I would get if I was to actually move forward. I'm not going to be moving forward because we need to keep it where it is. But if we end up going into the next room with, if we go and just win it, but we die, it'll be 20 points. If we go and win it and don't die, it'll be 30 points. And if we win it, don't die, and use pure faction, it'll be 40 points.
Mana surge.
Let's see. But if you do fail at any of those, you can just get all those points back later. Like, for example, if you go from 110 to 200, dying every single time and not getting those points, and then you end up going deathless on 210, you get all of the points up to 210, as if you didn't die for a single one of them. So really, you can literally just not do pure faction or deathless for every single one, and then once you finally reach 500, you just go and do all of them. Do deathless, do pure faction, and everything like that. Yeah, Crypt is currently the easiest faction to do pure faction on. It's still ridiculously hard, but Triple Lady Mirana into Grave Series, the easiest pure faction in the game. Still ridiculously hard, but it's the easiest there is currently. They might be reworking it to make it easier. They have made mention of it because it is insanely hard at the moment. But there are people that do it at level 100. Level 100 as in faction upgrade, it's level 100. It is definitely possible. It just takes a lot of luck, like an absurd amount of luck. Took me almost 1 month of attempts to finally get it back in November. I should have taken mana first. Like, it's not going to be an issue, actually. Grab that. Get destroyed. Gotta get full mana. How are you not full mana? Luckily, you didn't deny something important. Trying to do this to explode the mana we need. Come on, hit 2 rounds. Fail. We had 3 tries and not a single one hit. Okay, I'll take that skull to revives. Get our kill there. And do that 2 more times. Oh, we might be able to win right now. We'll do that into the next turn, hopefully. Nope. And again, it's 1 mana short, really. Luckily, we get 3 mana instead. Oh, how did you live? There we go. How do you get Sunbird fast? It's pure luck. You have to open up Glory and Gem Keys and hopefully eventually get it. The only times you would ever be able to get it really quickly would be if it's ever in the event key drop table, which it won't be anytime soon, or finding in one of those weekly orb things within Soulforge. I forget what they're called. Summoning stones, I think they're called. No one in late game really bothers touching them. Even in mid game, you don't really even need to bother with them anymore. But if you happen to see a Sunbird on either one of those, it's a 1 in 8 chance per time you open one. So it's a really high chance you could quickly get a Sunbird. But it's only applicable if there's currently one there. I don't believe there is this week. Very rarely would ever be on that rotation. But basically, Glory and Gem Keys is the only realistic way of eventually getting it. Well, I'll go show the other location. I don't think Sunbird's there now, but let's double check. Yeah, she got a kill. Oh, also, resummoning does not count for pure faction, by the way. If you take even one death, even if you resummon, it still counts as a death. It's not like Guild War. It's not like Guild Wars where it replenishes it. Class events also replenish it, but this game mode does not. If you die at all, even if resummoning, it still counts as a death and doesn't count for pure faction. I mean, it doesn't count for deathless, I mean. Anyways, I'm gonna go and do that real quick. Yeah, for pure faction, you don't have to go deathless. You just have to do it with pure faction. And for deathless, you just have to do it deathless without losing a single casualty. Or a single troop ever. What am I looking for? Oh, Gem Key. We'll go do that with a redeem code in a moment. Probably after we finish out next delve. Perfect daily task. Do we have anything else we need to repick? Yeah, White Helm. Don't need a White Helm. From the chest menu, use a Gem Key. Oh, sweet! We got 2 Gem Keys. We got alignment. That's perfect. Well, we were already gonna open one anyways. Anyways, what was I about to go show? Oh yeah, Sunbird. Let's see, is he currently craftable? Probably not, but if you check the red and purple, you might be able to see him here. Nope, no Sunbird, and no Sunbird. Nope, unfortunately he's not craftable this week. So your only bet really is to go into the keys and open a bunch of glory keys and gem keys and just randomly get a Sunbird off of pure luck. I might as well open some right now. Can we randomly get a Sunbird? Let's see, probably not. But they are in here. I don't want to open too many keys now because we need them. But there is a chance to get Sunbird there. Any of those ultra rares could have been a Sunbird drop. It's completely random though if it is. Anyways, let's go do this. Go do this final delve and then go hand out a redeem code after. And we'll open 3 gem keys then too because we need to go get ourselves the 15 gems for free. Since both our daily tasks are on top of that, it's going to be super easy to just get a bunch of gems that way. If you got a Sunbird, using a major blue orb on it is not a bad idea. It somewhat is. I don't know, major blues are very valuable. It's hard to really tell what would actually be worth ever using it on. So much so that I've never used one ever. But, I don't know. It's one of those really weird resources that are so valuable that almost nothing feels worth using it on. But, I personally wouldn't say Sunbird is worth it. You use it for quite a lot of things, particularly Quick Explore, but there are other options that work, like Rowan and stuff, that's already closer to max than that of Sunbird. But, I don't know, I wouldn't really advise it on Sunbird, unless you're planning on using Sunbird like a ridiculously high amount. And even then, it might not be worth it. Because there's so many things that are going to take way longer to upgrade than Sunbird will in the long term. Not saying that Sunbird isn't a good troop, just that upgrading it to max is a lot easier than some other things. Hello, Aspen! Welcome! I didn't even realize I have Greed in first slot. It's slightly unfortunate, but at least it'll make sure we don't die this time around. Slows down the team ever so slightly, but it makes it a lot safer. Because all we have to do is cast Greed to get an HP buff anytime we want. Oops, I thought that'd be kill. Should take those reds. I don't know why I thought it'd be kill though. Didn't realize he wasn't hit yet. Normally if we were using Thief, he would be this entire time. Every extra turn he would take damage from. But we're not using Thief, so he takes no damage. Hey, you used one on Sunbird, no regrets. Yeah, it is currently one of the best troops for Explore, if not the best troop for Explore. It is so insanely good. Even in late game, I still use it. I use this team. You guys have probably seen it like a billion times. There are other variants of it. Let's see. It's this team. We just go wherever we want to explore. Definitely not there. Let's just say Missile Scales. I think I still need Trait Stones here. And then you just use a team like this. Doesn't necessarily have to be exactly this. But Sunbird, Rowain, Firebomb, Hero with anything, or Sunbird, Hero with anything, Firebomb, Forest Guardian tend to be two of the better ones. There's a few other variants you can do too, like trying to put in the event troop if it's 400 gold, which I actually believe it is this week, isn't it? But yeah, you can try fitting the event troop in too, if you want. Like right here, we could just do it over top of Forest Guardian if we really want to. But main reason I use this specific one is Forest Guardian gives Sunbird half mana, and we still gain Hero XP. Pretty much always a good idea to use Hero on this, just because it's really free Hero XP. It's actually the quickest rate of XP for Hero in the entire game, anywhere from about 180 to about 220 per hour, approximately, give or take. At 3 wins per minute, it's 180 per hour, and this is winning quicker than 3 per minute. At least this late in the game it does, assuming your Sunbird can one-shot. You might want to go Sunbird Rowain if you can't one-shot with it. But we have such high stats that it does one-shot Explore. Oh, also we're about to gain a level, nice. Okay, what's our order here? Is this a 1.2? If so, we go for it. Oh, wait! Oh no, that's right, I did the correct order so far, because there was a 1.4 there. So it's probably still worth doing the order I did. But yeah, 1.3, that's actually pretty valuable. Didn't bother checking it, because it sold a 1.4. Okay, we'll stick a skull, why not? Up in key range. Oops, don't kill it! I need them to die to key so we get an extra turn. Otherwise we won't. Throw the key down. Reds. Actually, we'll take that first. Egg Thief, throw a key again. Use the summon because why not? Do it again. And it's not kill range, but I'm still doing it. Oh, it is kill range. Okay. Well, now he dies. Ever so barely clips it. Also, hello, Daryl. Welcome. Okay, we'll grab this, get our higher multiplier, go for the 1.2, go for the useless room, go for the treasure room, and final room. Then we'll hand out a redeem code. Yeah, we can drop the mana. That was supposed to give you full mana, but it's blocked by greed. Greedy greed, stealing all of our mana. It's not enough to kill, but we still go for it because there's no skull. Smokes us, all good. Go into the key. And that should kill him. Oh, 4 HP! Of course not. I guess shouldn't be higher than this one. No, it is not. So we'll do this one, the other one, treasure room, and final room. Grab our gold. Luckily, this will get it mana immediately to full, so we don't need to worry about it being blocked. This might be enough. Yes, it is. Luckily to that skull. Even with 33% reduction, it's still enough to kill it. That should be enough to... Oh, no, it's not. Oh, yes, it is. Never mind. Okay. I was going to say it wouldn't have been because he didn't take any skull damage there. But, nope, apparently even without any skull damage, still enough. I guess I'm used to the previous delve where we didn't have Cedric for the entire time with the lower damage. Now that we have it again, it seems like we're hitting so high. Which is correct, because we're almost hitting twice as high as we would be. So it's quite nice. I'll grab that, he'll take skull, all good. The red here. I don't have a drop for it, so we'll just take it that way. I'm not gonna take that greed at this point. Give us more armor. Or more HP, I should say. I would take that skull, but we're entangled, so I can't. Apparently it was enough damage anyways, barely. And there we go. I should probably pay more attention to what level the battle is too, because for tier 3 and below, I believe we can almost always, at this level of delve, kill them with the key at that point, if we have it at max. We don't actually need to worry as much about not having enough damage, because we normally have enough damage. Definitely for the previous ones too. The tier 1, tier 2, the tier 1 and tier 2 battles definitely will have enough. Tier 3 is questionable on some of them, I guess. The ones with more durability do outlive it. The ones with higher attack though. Or if we get a small poke. That's also what Thief is for, to just get those small pokes so it actually does go in kill range. I don't know why I took that skull. It would have actually just been better taking mana there. Yep. So if I took mana that's not blocked. We'll try for skull. Didn't get off the cascade. Just kick the browns over there. Grab yourself another key to get that rolling. What do I take here? Let's take that for now. Grab our greens that we need. Destroy for everything. We're still entangled. I don't wonder why we keep getting entangled so much. He has that trait from that one battle. There's that one 1.2 battle that has a bunch of entangles. And after you do it, every single thing in the entire delve ends up getting entangled. I was wondering why we kept getting entangled. But yeah, if we go check his traits, one of them should say entrapment. Or whatever it's called. Whoa, he has a lot of traits. Entangle. Inflict entangle when doing skull damage. Entrapment's the one that does 2 times skull damage to entangled, I mean. That's the one that does that. I knew that word was familiar for something. It's for 2 times skull damage on entangle, not actually entangling. I'm going to take this green first, because he'll be blocking if I recast it. I might recast him in a moment. He'll be used for making sure he doesn't die. It's basically just giving him more HP. So should do that now. Just to make sure we keep it alive. Not going to make that big a difference. Just in case we somehow lose. Yep, and we're still entangled. There we go. Okay, redeem code time. And then get Frostmage to level 90 time, as well as getting a level in general. Yeah, exactly at 3 times multiplier, and a little bit of all the ingots. That's basically everything we need. Mythic ingots, legendary ingots, and shards. I prefer just pure shards, but still a nice little mix of all the better resources. All 3 of those drops are the only reason we even do delves. Mainly the shards, but those 3 drops in general are the 3 most important drops from any delve. Ubistet or Iron Gut? That's a hard choice. I believe Ubistet, mainly because it's actually needed for a kingdom upgrade. For an attack kingdom at that. You can't get this kingdom to 12 stars or anything beyond 10 without having a Ubistet. They're both similarly useful, just in certain situations. But from a kingdom perspective, Ubistet is actually currently more valuable than than Iron Gut, because Iron Gut does not allow you to 20 star this kingdom yet. It'll be possible in the near future, probably in a couple months, but at this current moment in time, it's stuck at 9 stars, whereas Pride Lands can reach 12. Not only that, but it's attack kingdom, which is somewhat relevant because it's one higher attack for literally everything you ever do, and that includes Guild Wars, PvP, delves, and everywhere. So yeah, I would say Ubistet. If you're looking at them just between which one is better, it's probably still Ubistet. Though the only thing that really uses Ubistet these days, there's 2 things. There's Divine Teams, and there is Delves. And those are about the only 2 things that really use it. Very, very occasionally you might use it in Guild Wars and Tower of Doom, but it's mainly just Delves and Divine Teams for the most part, as far as the context of what you use it in. And Iron Gut you just use as like a consistent Devour option. I personally haven't really used him much since the time he came released. He is still pretty decent. The biggest issue is if the enemy team has immune to Devour, he's essentially useless. Whereas if the enemy team has immune to instant kill, Ubistet's actually still decent due to how much damage he racks up to the 2 targets. Even without the instant kill, it's still a decent amount of damage. Whereas Iron Gut does almost nothing without his capability to Devour. Well, let's see. What is the relationship between the Gem Mastery and the Surge percent? Seems like they've been stuck at 50-ish. Oh, it's a really strange formula. I could get the exact formula for you later. I have no clue what it is off the top of my head. Yeah, we need to go copy-paste it from the forum from ages ago. We do know what it is. It's just so complicated that you would never do it in your head. Nor would I ever bother remembering it. But basically, it has a cap of about 73%, I believe. And it slowly goes up to that point. But after about 50%, it just starts cutting off to be very, very slow. Like any mastery you gain beyond that point just makes it go up very slowly towards 73%. They used to have a cap of 100%, but then they lowered it exponentially at one point. And they haven't changed the formula for like 3 years now. But yeah, if you check the Gems of War forum, you can probably find the formula somewhere. I don't know where you would actually check for it, but it exists somewhere on there, the exact formula. What were your finished Frostmage team look like? I'm mainly just using it for defense. I'm actually using it on a really, really weird team. I don't know if I'll be revamping it. I probably will be. But I mainly just want to use it for at least 1 or 2 Guild War defense. I'm not going to be using it offensively at all. It's not really much of an offensive hero class. But I want to use it for this team, oddly enough. This will allow us to get a freeze immediately off of Tapon's convert into everything else. And yeah, basically just this. I might be using it offensively in something that uses Infernus, I believe. I would have to revamp one of my teams. But I believe I was going to use a few elementals, 1 or 2, within one of my purple teams? No, it wasn't purple. I think Red Day, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think in Guild War Red, I wanted to try putting Hero here with Frostmage, so that we'd have a freeze option to counter them out in case they looped against us. And it would also give Infernus his elemental bonus. Also, no, she doesn't have it. But, yeah, it would just give Infernus his elemental bonus, which isn't much, but him getting higher magic is quite decent value, given how well he uses magic. But, yeah, there isn't much I'm actually getting this hero class upgraded for. It's basically just Guild Wars, and literally just Guild Wars. There's not a single other purpose other than that. Anyways, before I forget, let me go do a redeem code. And then go open 3 keys, because we need to do that for dailies. Oh, wait, did we lose a person? I didn't even notice that. Oh, yeah, we are. Hold up. Guild. We are missing a person! If anyone wants to join the guild, we have 1 spot left. Let me know. Oops, that's not what I want. Let's see, where's my requirements? Where do you go for that these days? But yeah, if you can do 1 million gold, 300 trophies, 1,500 seals, 30 Guild War battles, and 40k plus in Guild Wars, and basically tier 3 in every single event that's guild related. If you can do that, we have 1 spot open, so let me know. The main requirement is mainly 1 million gold and being able to do good in events, essentially, is the short summary of that per week. But yeah, if you do that and you're above level 1,000 or so, let me know, because we have 1 spot left. Okay, let's see, let me go hand out a code, put that there, boom, boom, paste, refresh, paste again, copy, and there you guys go. There's redeem code, use it on gemsofwar.com underneath the game code section. Your invite code can be found underneath your settings menu. Whatever your invite code says there is what you put in. Redeem code's right over there in chat, just copy paste that. And gives the same reward as always. 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, and 2,500 gold. Works on every platform except for the 2 console versions. Is 300 trophy grindy? I don't actually have that as like a requirement I enforce too much for my guild. Even I sometimes don't even bother going for it. Like if I check my trophies right now, I think I'm sitting on like 180, I want to say. But generally I just have that just so people do a little bit more. Oh no, I'm actually sitting at 330. But I don't know, like people who do like 200 something, I don't normally mind too much. 112 is a little low, or 122. But yeah, if people are in like the mid 200s, I don't normally mind. Like I'm not gonna kick them because they're there. But the main requirement is just doing good in all the events and making sure gold is up. Which apparently we have 2 people who are actually under right now. But those are the main ones that are important. Anyways. Let's see, what did I want to go do? Oh yeah, I want to go open 3 gem keys. Wouldn't that be funny if we get a Sunbird off one? Someone was asking about it earlier. Got a Guillory. Got a ultra rare ingots. And we got ourselves 10 gems and a useless Mongo. I believe there's actually achievement for getting him. A useless achievement, still one nonetheless. Anyways, those 2 are done and easy. Here we go. Anyways, yeah, let's go and work towards Frostmage EXP. So I guess we'll just find whatever trait stone we have the lowest and just go do some explore real quick with Sunbird farming. Let's see, what's our lowest currently? I think it might still be Mist Scales. Let's see, what's our lowest? 265. It looks like we're going back to Zolkari. Where to go? There it is. We'll go back to Zolkari. I'm doing it instead of Bright Forest just because the durability here tends to be, tends to be a little bit lower. Hey, we got a oh, wow, that was quick. The first battle all stream that we could possibly get a gnome from, and we get a gnome. Or maybe, no, it wasn't the first all stream, but still. Because we did do some explore earlier. Still, that was really quick. Hello, Bakchan, welcome. What was the code? Oh yeah, let me go copy and paste it. There it is. Right there. Right at the beginning of that. No problem, everyone, for the code. Should gain a level any second now, not just on our hero, but also on Frostmage. Yeah, we'll have this at level 90 tonight, which gives us all of next week to go and get it to 100 if we want, which I'm pretty sure we should be able to by the end of next week. I'll see why we would. I don't know if I'll be using it for literally everything, which might make it go a little bit slower. But should be able to reach it. Oh yeah, that reminds me, what's next hero class? I believe it was Sorcerer, if I'm not mistaken. Because they made it the exact same as the event week. And next week is Karkaroth, which means we have Sorcerer. Sorcerer is pretty underwhelming. At one point, Sorcerer was the best hero class in the game. But unfortunately, ever since they added perks, it's gotten a lot weaker. Also, it only has... Oh, there's our Frostmage level. But yeah, it's so bad these days. It only has a 50% chance of gaining 1 magic too, yet there are things that have a 100% chance of giving 1 magic, or 1 to all stats per turn to all of a certain color, yet that only gives 50% to itself, or 50% chance of even do 1 magic per turn. They really need to raise that to like 3 magic or something. 50% for 3 magic, or just 100% for 2 magic or something similar to that. Because it is very underwhelming. Even if they did that, it would make no difference. It would still be a pretty underwhelming hero class. I think the only real good benefit it has is I think it has half mana off of Arcane Tree. If it has Arcane Tree, it has half mana. I forget if Batty does have Arcane though. It makes sense if it does. That's one of the only few things it has going for it. That, and I believe it has that 7% kill thing, if I'm not mistaken. So I guess it's not actually that awful, but the traits have seen better days on it, that's for sure. Yeah, where's Sorcerer? Let's see, class, go in here. Where is Sorcerer class? It's in alphabetical order and I still can't find it. There it is, customize. Oh, it doesn't! Oh yeah, this class is useless. It doesn't have, yes, it's a casting hero class that does not start with half mana. That is the most gigantic fail I've ever seen. Because this at one point was the best casting hero class, but now it's not because they didn't give it half mana start. So now every single hero class is basically a better caster than it. Any hero class that has half mana start is a better caster now than that of Sorcerer. So Sorcerer is just pure useless, unfortunately. Not the absolute worst hero class in the game, but pretty close. It's definitely fallen, because at one point, like year and a half ago, I probably would have said it was the best hero class in the game. But it has definitely changed. Hey, we got Celestial. And if nothing else, it's free HP towards it. Because most people probably don't have it maxed because it's so bad. The only reason I had it maxed is because I used it a lot back when it was really good. So yeah, if anyone else knows any other questions, let me know. I'll probably just be farming until we get our level 90 on Frostmage. It shouldn't take that long. We need 90 wins. That takes that takes about 20 minutes. Yep, we gained our level. We'll do that on Brown. Once all kingdoms are maxed, do you know what the total kingdom bonus is? Yes, we currently have it right now. Whatever our bonus is what max stats currently are. I believe I have one kingdom that could technically go a little bit further, but as far as stars are concerned, that actually give extra stats. I have the highest stats you can have, or at least tied at the highest stats. But yes, 20 attack, 12 magic, 36 HP, and 31 armor is currently the highest stats you can ever have, as far as your base stats. Of course, you can have extra stats from things like Guild Wars related stuff, from delve bonuses within the delves, and in certain instances where stats apply to a certain location. Also, your hero can technically have higher stats. Anything prior to level 2000 means your hero is a little bit weaker than max stats. But as far as like the main ones that apply to everything, this is the highest they can currently go. And these are all from kingdoms, mainly from 10-star kingdoms, and they're from three things. They're from level 10 kingdoms. Then you get another stat at 5-star, and then you get another stat on top of that at 10-star, and probably even more into the future. But at the current moment in time, that's as far as they go, at least for a while. And other than that, all these are just from guild bonuses. Once you've completed all red tasks, you get 3 attack. All purple tasks is 2 magic, and completing out the other 4 give 4 HP or armor, depending on which one it is. And as far as delves are concerned, it's currently possible to get 2 HP and 1 armor, with the next stat being 1 armor in 2 factions from now. Not the one next Friday, but the following one will be yielding 1 higher potential armor. Though, actually, it is technically possible to have that armor, but you would have to have 2,500 almost every faction, which I'm pretty sure only like a few people, probably under a dozen people actually have. So technically, starting next faction, I will not have max stats, because it is theoretically possible to have that armor. But because we're camping a certain delve, as well as how unrealistic it would be to actually get that far, I will unfortunately not have it. I'd be surprised if more than 10 people do. Just because it requires almost every delve to be maxed, I believe. Because how many points do you need for that? You would need 16,000, and there would currently only be... Oh, you know what? It's actually possible right now, isn't it? No, there's only 6. So that means current max is 15,000. The next faction, it is technically 17,500. Right? Math. Yes. So it'd be 17,500, which means you would need to have... Actually, no, that's actually somewhat possible. How much would that be? Let's say every single faction's at 2,200. So what's that? Math. Times that by every single one. 2,000. Let's just say 2,000. Yeah, 2,200. That would be easier to do the math. So 2,200 times 70, or 7, I mean. That would bring it to 15,400, which would give you an extra 300 every single time you've done a pure faction. So that means if you had every single faction at 200, you would need to have 2,500 factions. So that's actually manageable. Though if every single one of your other delves is not at 200, you would need 3 2,500 factions. Plus every single one would need to be at 2,200, including the one that we're currently farming, which we can't do. So yeah, it actually is possible. Someone would need to have 2 to 3 2,500 factions to be able to get away with it, though, which we will not. Not only will we not have that, but we will be stuck on warrant, so we won't be able to get it regardless. But yeah, actually it is technically possible next Friday to have that armor. But it's not possible now. So starting this Friday, we will no longer have max stats. Though barely anyone's going to have that armor, so it doesn't make much of a difference. And it's only 1 armor anyways. Is the bonus from the guild permanent, or does it reset? It resets, but if your guild is getting all tasks done every single week, it's essentially permanent. But no, it only lasts for 1 week. But if your guild gets all tasks done every single week, it's just going to keep reapplying every single time. So if your guild consistently gets all tasks completed, it's essentially a permanent bonus. Some guilds coordinate that are smaller, and they do it like every other week, or plan on when they're going to actually do it, so that they save gold in order to max it out on certain weeks. But most endgame guilds get it done in like the first few hours of the event starting, just because they have such high reserves of gold. Like right now we're sitting on like 20-something million. It's almost enough to solo all the tasks actually. I think it costs what? It's about 500,000 per person, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was 515,000. I forget the exact number. Let's just say 515,000 times 30. It's approximately, yeah, it's about, let's say 16 million. It costs about 16 million gold to max out all guild tasks. I believe I did that math right. But, yeah, that's not a lot. Well, at least in endgame, it's not a lot. We could do the entirety of it with how much gold we have right now. Yeah, 15.5 million, what you said. Somewhere around there, or exactly that. That's actually probably exact. I knew it was slightly above 15 million. Because it's slightly above 500,000 per person. It's a requirement for all tasks. Upgrading Delve Horde, easiest way to increase quality? Yes. You will naturally automatically have level 100 Delve. I mean, you'll automatically have level 10 quality from getting level 100 Delve. It's just going to happen automatically. It doesn't even really matter what order you use resource in for the most part. Because by the time you reach 100, you have like a near 100% chance of having max quality. I've never seen it not happen by level 100. You'd have to have absurdly unlucky luck. Is there an easy way to see how many legendary tasks a guild has done? No. The only way to really tell is to add up every single, well, you mean for a given week? I assume you mean. The only way to really figure that out is to add up the gold value of all 30 people for the amount of gold contributed on a given week, subtract 15.5 million from it, and then divide that by 1 million. And that's how many legendary tasks were completed. Rounded down, of course, because just to get rid of that one legendary task that wasn't completed, if it was something like 250,000 extra gold or something. There'd be no way to ever tell what the total of across the entire Delve's guild's history, though, unless all 30 people have been in there forever, which I highly doubt. I don't think there's a single guild in the entire game that all 30 people have been in there since like day one of the guild. Oh, I wasn't even paying much attention, but we got 5 gems for that. Nice. Yeah, what Kevin just said. That's what you do. What's the general delve strategy if you're starting from scratch? Make sure to not go into Warrens. You should keep Warrens at level 20 or level 90, either or. Probably level 20 if you're just starting out, like if you're a brand new player. Keep it at level 20 forever. And just use it to farm. Because it's going to give you a ridiculously high amount of resources. It's the best delve currently to do. I need to keep doing level 20 over and over and over again. And just go from there. But as far as actually doing delves, if you do want to progress, I guess try starting getting every delve other than Warrens to level 100, because that's how far you would need to go to do the tasks anyways. So you're naturally going to be doing that by every single Tuesday that you end up doing. So actually, maybe you actually don't do that. Never mind, because you'll naturally progress there every Tuesday anyways. So I guess you focus one single delve that isn't Warrens, and just see how far you can get with whatever you have. As far as which one you'd want to target for that, I would probably have to say Crypt would be your location. There's 2 reasons for this. One is it's the second best delve in the game, only outdone by Warrens as far as the quality of how good it is, because it has 1.5 treasure rooms. It has 1 guaranteed treasure room and 1 other room that could potentially be a treasure room. So it's decent loot. But the other reason is, in the long term, you'd want to have that be your highest quality delve, as you would want it in order to do pure faction. it is going to probably always be the easiest kingdom in the game, or easiest faction, I mean, to do pure faction on. At the current moment it is, and I highly doubt that's going to change. So in the long term, I think you'd probably want to focus your treasure and everything on Crypt first, because in the long term, it's going to be the most useful delve to get upgraded as far as to max as quickly as possible. And if you find battles are too hard, you basically just keep doing warrens at level 20 and just keep camping there for resources forever. And every other delve you just keep at level 100 or so from the weekly events and don't really go any further than that. And just keep going into Crypt until you get further and further. And you just keep running instant kill teams and devour teams and whatever you need to get through. Yeah, delves can be really hard. They're definitely more towards endgame content. While you can do them as a newer player, and you definitely should be because they're quite a bit of free loot, of various loot for a bunch of stuff. They are slightly hard to get deep into without having proper troops. Even when I try getting to 500, there's some really hard matchups to get. Even with max stats and the choice of using literally anything in the game, it can still be a bit difficult. But eventually with instant kill teams, you just get lucky enough. Also, when you're trying to go deep into delves, keep in mind, if you're trying to progress and just get Renown, and the only thing you're doing is trying to get Renown, just rush straight to the boss room. Don't do any other rooms other than the quickest path to get to the boss room. The only time you do have your room is when you're specifically farming the delve for resources. And the only times you'd be doing that is during the Tuesday events and during dailies, when you're using your daily 3, just to farm something like Warrens or wherever else you might be doing it at. Yeah, no problem. And if anyone else has any other questions, let me know. Oh, you're trying to explain it to other people, so you want to hear my explanation. Well, I hope that helps. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of selection when you first start out, that's for sure. It can definitely be a lot of really intimidating because you have so many different paths. And the game doesn't make it clear at all which ones are actually good or bad or anything like that. You pretty much just pick a random one and then go from there. I'm pretty sure most newer players do. Why is the sky blue? Okay, we just got 5 gems. Actually, it might have been 20, I didn't even see. But we got some amount of gems. Got quite a few gems to stream. Isn't the sky blue because of reflection off of water or something? If I ever have a kid, I need to look up the answer to just about any really absurd, weird question that any kid could ever ask, similar to that, just so I know the actual answer to it, so I don't give them incorrect information. Because that would be really sad if they asked something like really, really basic like that pretty much every kid would want to know. And then it's like, oh, I actually don't remember what the reason for that is. I can see that happening. It's going to happen eventually, because I'm going to forget something really basic. But, yeah. Will I ever do a best team video for each delve setup? Yes, I will definitely be, eventually. I believe we did a little while back, but there was only like 4 delves at the time, and now there's like twice as many. So I do need to cover it again sometime in the near future, because, well, they're multiplying. I'll probably do it sometime soon after next delve, since we'll have a whole nother delve to go over as well into that mix. Yeah, I'd have to do a video on it like every few months if I want to keep up with like all delves constantly. I do cover each individual delve whenever they do get released though. And of course we stream it like crazy and go over a bunch of different strategy. Takes a little bit of time to figure out what actually works for it though. Because some color combinations are a bit weird. But this next one coming up, I'm probably just using some kind of apothecary into Megavore team, most likely. And then modifying it from there. But it's something most likely around like Dragon's Eye, Apothecary, double Megavore. I'm probably starting at that and then moving from there. The first several delves will probably use something else just to get them done quicker. But once we start going into deeper delves, it's pretty much going to be well bees nearly the entire time. And of course using that with Titan so it doesn't die. We won't be getting HP for it, but it's more important that we get the win, especially if we're using sigils for it. So yeah, does anyone else have any other questions? Otherwise I'll probably start wrapping up for now. I'll just get the last of this level off stream. We should almost be there any second now. Or not any second, I think we still have like another 10-15 minutes. But I'll start wrapping up for now. So if any other questions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll be back tomorrow night, same time as always, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 hour prior to now tomorrow. And we'll be going over the new event next week. We don't have much as far as Monday. All we're getting is one useless character off trooper. I think it's useless. Actually forgot to double check if it's useless or not. But it's going to be a character off event. We're going to have Sorcerer on Thursday. I think we have some useless pet on Wednesday, like normal. Tuesday event is for All Seeing Eye. And other than that, we don't have anything exciting until Friday, in which we get not only a new faction, which will have Bleed, the new mechanic of Bleed, but we'll also be getting a new mythic. Though the most interesting thing will probably be the legend, specifically from the new faction, because it's going to be the best Bleed option in the game, because it's one of the only good Bleed options in the game once it gets released. But yeah, it should be interesting how that pans out. 2 of him into some kind of team might be viable. 1 of him into some kind of team with a lot of extra turns might also be viable. We'll just have to see how he functions and go from there. Yeah, it'll be interesting how he plays out. I don't know if it's going to be like super powerful. It seems like it's going to be decent. It doesn't seem like it's going to be like new meta or anything, but it does seem like it's pretty solid. Probably the strongest legendary ever added to any faction so far. We'll see how it goes. If I'm not mistaken, his ability is pretty underwhelming though. I think it's an attack buff or something, which isn't really that exciting. But his final trait is definitely nice. It's, I believe, bleed every red gem that you end up accumulating. So if you have 2 of them in any red spam, that's going to be a lot of bleed. Hello, Captain! Welcome. So anyone who hasn't used the code yet, make sure to go use it. Well, glad you can still make it. Unfortunately, we are ending the stream like any minute now. We're just taking last-minute questions if anyone still has anything. Hello, Michael! Welcome as well. Yeah, any other questions? Otherwise, we'll just end out in another few battles. So I hope all of you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And let's see, what do we get from this gnome? Oh, wow, what a time to end. We actually used 3 gem keys earlier too, so that's kind of funny. It kind of replenished it. We had a daily task today to use 3 gem keys to get 15 gems, because one was 10 gems and one was 5, so we got 3. So we got both of them done simultaneously. But then we just get 4 gems for free from this guy. That's actually his his 3rd best drop. Best drop is Vault Key, 2nd best is 3 event keys, and 3rd best is 4 gem keys. So depending on how you look at it, 4 gem keys could technically be his best drop, because these days I need gem keys almost more than I need event keys because of my excess of event keys. They both have the same rarity drops in them too. It's just event keys specifically target a specific kingdom. But sweet, yeah, 4 gem keys. Technically, I guess that is the best drop we really need other than Vault Key. And in some cases, that could even be better loot than a Vault Key, so not too bad. That also reminds me, we need a key gnome. Whenever I see that drop, we just totally need a key gnome. Something that drops gold keys, glory keys, gem keys, all those kind of keys. You have one. Can you show where you are in delves? What do you mean by that? Which page specifically? I can go show it real quick. I don't know specifically what you mean by that though. Like my total renown, or just a screen of all the, or I don't know. What are you referring to? Most of my delves are at 2,150. This one I did a little bit lower, unfortunately, but we might raise it eventually. The rest of these are at like 150. Oh, the score screen? Sure, I can go show the score screen. Yeah, this is what we're currently at. Wait, is total here? Yeah, total right there. We're at a total of 12,010. Next will be an armor. This will be possible next Friday if you have 2 or 3 pure factions completed to 2,500, with the rest of them completed at about 2,000 or so. These are just useless random ingots. These are just useless random gold. and of course every single individual one. Wait. What was that other screen? I didn't even realize that was a thing. Did they add that recently? But of course, this is just the same for every single thing as far as the rewards, just a different pet for the final thing. Actually, what is this pet? We won't have it for a while, actually. I haven't seen anyone really have it yet. The hero plane. I'm pretty sure people obviously do. But what's this? Let's see. It tracks your total renown, or is this telling us... Oh, it tells you literally every reward that you get along the way. Oh, cool. When did they add this? I don't recall this ever always being here. This had to have been added 2 patches ago or 1 patch ago, and I somehow never noticed it until now. Wait, was this added the most recent patch? I don't think it was. Was this something randomly added last patch and then it just completely overlooked it? Or something? This had to have been 2 patches ago. I don't remember the screen. Yeah, this just shows us the upcoming rewards. Interesting. I never realized that was there. It wasn't always there. Apparently it came somewhat recently. Let's see. You need to use your own invite code, right? For the redeem code, yes. Use your own invite code. Don't use mine, or else it'll just try sending it to me. Use whatever your game says. Also, if there's a space in between it, sometimes it's an underscore, and also it sometimes likes being cap sensitive, so make sure it's all capitalized. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna be heading out for now. Thank you all. Wait, was that another question? Wait. Oh no, that wasn't the question. But anyways, guys, I'll be heading out for now. As I mentioned, we'll be back same time tomorrow, 1 hour prior to now tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll go over the new events next week. But this quick summary of it is next Friday, we have a lot of fun stuff. That's basically the short summary of it. But anyways, guys, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks a lot for stopping by. Leave a like if you enjoyed the stream, and I will catch you all later. Bye, everyone.